So people like me have to run around and go all over the place just to bring a Black presence into a school. And yes, I do it with pleasure because those young people energize me and keep my heart pumping for the struggle. But in some ways, it's a waste of my talent, and it's a waste of their energy to have to put it all in 1 month or 1 day or 1 week. So, yes, my article would be that we celebrate the history of the peoples who make up this land, this society, this place, this time, right now. So I haven't really, I don't want to get going because I can't shut up when I do. So would you like to ask me some questions now, just so that I can get what you want?
It's an absolute pleasure to see you here. You say that you would like to slow down and that you would like to take a break, and you want to see other people take on that leadership. I'm someone who believes that I can take on that leadership, but at the same time I'm wondering where specifically to focus my energy within the education to obtain the type of equality within the schools and for young children. Suggestions, yes.
Oh, yeah, you want suggestions? I always ask my kids, what am I supposed to do? I'll just talk briefly about hiding out in the bush for almost 20 years in Northern Ontario, and not talking about Little Rock or racism or anything, because I was kind of busy teaching them at home and whatever one does when one has 6 children. I can't remember, a lot of it is a blur. I love them dearly, but yes, there are times I don't remember. I wasn't asking for anything from the society, so therefore I was safe. So I popped out, quickly got 2 degrees, and then said, here I am, mature, experienced, articulate, ready. I've been working the last 6 years on short-term contracts, and it's getting worse because of our illustrious government. How many other people are working short-term contracts? It's quite the life. You never know where your next penny is coming from, and you certainly don't get your teeth fixed, which is my pet thing, right? My kids have perfect teeth, and my daughter got a small cavity, and I couldn't afford to get it fixed, so she brought home this beautiful, beautiful tooth that just had this little teeny hole in it, and I thought, this is criminal. This is wrong. But I'm working short-term contracts, so who cares about my teeth? Who cares about the teeth of people on social assistance? So hey, this may or may not seem like it's part of the great universal Declaration of Human Rights, but to me it is, because it's my everyday, individual, personal, here and now, this minute experience. And here we are. Yes, of course, I didn't come from a refugee camp. I have not suffered the indignities that many people have suffered. But I live in what is the wealthiest part of the world. I'm in the richest part of the world, a place where many of the natural resources are, where there is the capability, the capacity for income distributed around. And we have this class system that have a few people at the top, I won't name it, a whole bunch of people, and it's called dispensable people at the bottom. So we need to do some work here. Okay, I still have a question. Yeah.
My question is about the examinations conducted in the schools, where there are public examinations in, like in England or other places, where there is a possibility for discrimination on a racial basis in giving marks to the students, or clearly on a racial basis and say that we try to put the students up so that they have more marks than black students or Asian students or whatever. What precautionary actions or what actions we should take on? Because unless you have public examinations where the examiner will not know who the student is. Here, the teacher knows who the student is, and he could easily discriminate. That's the worst thing that's happening in many schools. It's a little thing, but it's happening.
Well, I'm the chair of my Woodruff High School council. We can only usually get about 6 people there, and I've called people and yelled and screamed and bribed and cajoled, and I've tried to, be a leader. But we've got to get out there, because letting the other guy do it is a waste of time, because I can't do it all, and the other 4 people who are in the school council can't do it all. So parents need to come out. Now, this government gave parent councils a lot of power. Of course, it's all lies, and I won't even mince words on that. It's crap. It's bullshit, okay? But one of the real ways of social change is to catch people on their own stuff, to use their laws, their legislation against them, because there are flaws in it always. So as parents and as relatives and uncles and aunts and cousins, we have to catch them making mistakes. My daughter's school is 45% other. So they scored the lowest on the, whatever those tests are. And I'm thinking, who measured the fact that some of them speak 4 languages? How did that get measured, and who pays attention to it? So we have those kinds of things. There's only one thing measured. When my daughter, who's now 28, was tested, we were trying to homeschool. So she was given this reading comprehension. First of all, it was a narrative. And the other thing, it had the word banister. Well, we had a cedar log with steps cut in it. She didn't know anything about banisters. But I mean, that seems like a very non-important word, but those are the concepts, those are the ideas, and those are the kinds of tests that our kids have to struggle through. Banister. I don't care. Why does she have to know what a banister is in order to, to find out whether she can comprehend words? So yes, the test, no doubt, will be culturally biased. I mean, people have been fighting this for many, many years. So they just get reframed, they just get kind of reframed in another way, but they remain that because they're designed to further eliticize the elite. Talking to young people, my son was telling me about some tightening up of OSA. When that comes out in the newspaper, you have 20,000 people who eliminate themselves immediately without anything happening. So these changes are designed for people to eliminate themselves because they don't know that this is strategic, persistent stuff, that it is intended, that it has intent to discourage them. They think, well, all is lost, so they eliminate themselves. So I mean, part of leadership is to help people have that critical understanding of this. So what if they're going to tighten up OSAP? Go in and try to get it anyway. I mean, who is it designed to benefit? So we do have to constantly calling attention to that. I didn't answer your question, but that's the best I can do. It's a problem. I mean, the other thing is charter school. Charter school meaning what?
But in some countries there is a question of standardization coming in. They discriminate through standardization 2 different ways. And the brilliant student gets shut off from entering the university.
Yeah.
The guys who score the lowest mark, they enter the university because they belong to the higher grade. And this creates one of the main issues in our country most of the country.
Okay, so
Sri Lanka.
We have to keep calling it when we see it. We have to speak out loud and hard. I'm sorry I'm not screaming today. I just don't have the voice. And I'm also a little bit, I have screamed in the past couple of days. But the whole idea is to constantly keep that up at the forefront. I mean, it's very hard to know which thing to deal with because there are just things coming at us all the time. So I just respond in a very fragmented way. I'll go here today and there tomorrow and there today. But But then that's why I need other people coming in with me. That's why I need the masses of all these people who are under 25 to join me in some of these struggles. There.
As a Caribbean person, I have a 16, 17-year-old son. Grew up in Canada, knew what Bannister means.
Yeah. Bravo. Hey.
But I find that the educators, one of the biggest problems for minorities, the educators, it's a matter of a self-fulfilling prophecy. They do not expect minorities to accept. In many cases, they're being pushed on, they're pushed down. Instead of being, for example, the system in the school system where you have the 3 different levels. And the children, you find a lot of minority children at the lower level. And they should really not be there, but the educators put them there. So they don't want them to compete with the children, their children who are not minorities. And the survey is stupid because, for example, here in England and in Canada, they show that families, 2 sisters, children who went back to the Caribbean are excelling, whereby the kids who stay here, stay in Canada or in England, of minority origin, are down to the most struggle in society.
Yes, I don't need to add to that. That's true. And what does this have to do with human rights? This keeps being the question. What about potential for achievement? Whereas another article that every child should have the opportunity to achieve.
Are you at all concerned about the values or the messages that might be communicated through the things like the hip-hop culture? And how would you get the human rights message to that generation?
Well, for one thing, go to the hip-hop concerts, and see who they're talking to. So my kids are going to be really surprised that I am going to say this. One of the things that I would say when I was watching those young people last night is those guys are talking about their experiences. Okay, and we like to assume that racism hurts black kids. But racism hurts all kids. It hurts your kids and my kids. It hurts all of us. And the most significant thing that I saw last night, that these people were speaking to the experience of these young people. Now, we go along and think everything is fine and it's all cool, but they are experiencing that kind of brutality every day. I could tell that by the attention that they were giving to the message. I don't think children can be brainwashed and that they don't think and they don't have ideas and they're not smart. They know what these people are talking about. They're talking about their experience, the brutality that we have in our society. So I always believe, and this is the Jean Brown theory of, this is my own, I probably copied it from someone, but the least among us show us who we are. So those people who are more visible, they're talking to us. They are telling us what our values are. They're telling us who we are. They're telling how much violence there is in our society. They're telling us how much hopelessness and helplessness there is. So the least among us tell us who we are. And you want to change this, turn this over? So yes, I'm offended by the misogyny and I'm offended by the brutality in that music. But I saw the kids last night. I was standing among them. And that was just an incredible experience. I wish I had known this before. Then I wouldn't be screaming through my house all the time. I don't want to hear that. Turn that off. I'm still going to say it, but I'm going to say it lower. Because I can't win anyway. And they think about it, and we discuss discuss it and they say, well, this person is political and they're talking about nonviolence and they're saying this and, the use of those words, Jean, is very effective and you got to stop being an old woman and understand this. But they also listen to Bob Dylan, who's also getting a little long at the tooth. I mean, how, so, yes? Gee, I don't either. Anybody got a dictionary? Well, I think that it's, pure and simple hatred of women, thank you. But it is also, I would say that it is systemic, steeped, embedded, interlaced devaluation of women. It's all in our laws, it's in our thought, it's in our everything. So, I mean, there's a portion about women. So obviously people have looked at some of these problems and put it down on paper. Now, what is the trick here? The trick is to throw the paper away and put it into action.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a bit about the notions of equality, especially going through the desegregation experience you had. I sometimes when I'm reading and I'm going back in the 50s or 60s and periods where I haven't even existed, I wonder if desegregation of schools was the best thing. And the reason I say that is because the idea of equality does not mean putting black children or other children of color into white schools and saying, here, now I've made you equal. Because those kids aren't made equal because most of the times their culture, their history is being ignored. So that, in a sense, is a psychological violence for children of color. And what I'm concerned about is when we were looking at equality in the 50s and all those wonderful lawyers.
In the old days?
Exactly, way back then. And all those wonderful lawyers with the NAACP was saying, let's get our brown children into those schools. I'm wondering if they shouldn't have been really arguing, let's get teachers better qualified to teach black children in the black schools. Because what I think was lost in terms of the identity and what the children had to put up with who went into those sort of projects where they were guinea pigs for the project.
I chose to be a guinea pig. I'm going to stop you.
No.
And you're not going to like my answer, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what I will tell you is for a person who is enjoying the benefit of the privileges that I made possible for you, you cannot in retrospect say that I should have done something else.
No,
Okay, let's get it straight here. Because it comes to me a lot from young people who say, I want to resegregate, I want to be back in my culture. And I am saying that should we keep apartheid? Should we go back to that because there was more cultural understanding? And I think that's a very common question because you lack, not you personally, but young people lack the understanding of the nature of the struggle. And you have read it very much like it has been digested for you, which was about black people being with white people. It was not. It was
I
about...
understand that, but I'm just concerned about what happens with the black person who goes into that environment. The reason I say that, many black people or people of color have been the one who grew up in white environments. So we have a sense of what we've lost in terms of how we were treated in those schools as only being one. But I'm just saying that, and I'm really interested in this, especially from a legal standpoint, is how do you get equality? Like, does equality mean giving people of color the same thing as white people without regard for who they are? Or does it mean maybe giving them the same thing as whites with also having regard for who they are? Jim?
Okay, I don't know the answer to your question. That's the first thing. I don't know the answer. I find myself getting this question much more often than I like to, And are you a lawyer?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, okay, I didn't know. This isn't about lawyers. This is about opportunity. This is about opportunity. The average university, I don't even know about Canada, in the United States had a quota of 2 blacks and 2 Jews, okay? So if you're a lawyer, maybe you were one of those 2. I don't know, when you went to law school, was there a rule that said you could only have 2?
When I went to law school, there were 3 blacks in my class, and one of them said, I'm getting out of here, I'm going to the U.S. The other one flunked out, and I sort of just made it. So there definitely was just a few of us.
Well, the other part I think that's really, a sad fact is that nobody ever said anything was easy. That's, like we're talking about life and we're talking about struggles. And it happens to be framed color-wise, which is another whole big problem. But in our own achievement and in our own efforts, none of this is easy. It's never been easy. It hasn't been, okay, my time is out. It hasn't been easy for women. It hasn't been easy for gays and lesbians. It hasn't been easy for Jews. It hasn't been easy for Indians, or it hasn't been easy for Aboriginal people. Nothing is easy out there. And I would like for it to be, and I'd like for everything to be smooth and wonderful, but it isn't. So it is a struggle, and it gets to be framed because of me having this skin color. It gets to be framed about my color, but it is about a universal kind of struggle, and that's what it's about. And I can tell you that thing in Little Rock transformed me in ways that nothing else could have ever done. I am such an incredible person because of that. My own personal core inner being is so strong and beautiful. And I don't know how I could have been formed in that way. And I don't mean that we have to have brutality to make us form, but we have to put brutality into perspective in order to form this core of beauty and strength and whatever, and power. I'm like a steel rod, don't touch me. And I'm going to be coming up on a stick someday, the 100th anniversary or whatever. And I'm going to call it up, because it's so there. It's so there. Okay, I think you had a question, and my time is up.
My question is really kind of request for practical advice from you. You have lived the struggle of diversity, inclusivity, and all these nice languages we have been talking about. What are the practical things you can advise us really? How to create a just society, importantly, a just society whereby understanding diversity and respecting differences while working on to promote qualities and inclusivity would be. I think you have lived that area, and why don't you leave us with some advice ideas?
Well, I would say you would have to probably get to think about 4 or 5 hours of sleep per night, okay? That's the first requirement. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and we all have to do it. I am not going to bring anyone anywhere. I can walk with you hand in hand for us all to get somewhere. Okay, so it's a lot of work. And I know that it's a lot of work. But when I get up after those 4 or 5 hours of saving the world all night in my mind, I'm excited. I'm energized. And I'm ready to go. What's up now? Hey, what's the battle? What I got to fight here? So it's not easy, but it's wonderfully challenging, and it's wonderfully exciting. And is that right, son and daughter? I mean, I got to see what living a particular life meant when my son was beaten by police in Toronto. And without my advice, without calling me and saying, what should I do? He got photographs taken. He went to his sister and said, take photographs. He took those photographs to the Police Complaints Commission. He went to see about 10 or 15 lawyers before he could get the person who would do what he thought he needed to do. He went to court 19 times. He called me after the fact and said, this is what I have done. So I can tell you that there are some rewards to living the right life. You know, I can tell you that there are some days when I don't want to get up and I say, oh, I can't do this. And I'm not a martyr. I mean, I slept till noon today, let me tell you. I mean, you don't hip hop all night and you get up at night. So when we live this right life and when we are active and when we're challenging and when we're working, and yes, I'm not even rich either, I'm very poor as a matter of fact. When we are, and I live simply, and I know that my kids are going to live simply because there's an obligation to live simply on this earth. There are all these things that I have to model. And I'll tell you, when you got 6 kids, they give it to you every day. They give it back to you. They show you. They demonstrate to you in their lives what it means to live that kind of life. So my challenge is to take all these papers, they're a good place to start, and let's live it. Thanks.
Powerful.